everyone. Battle of the Year Dream Team is based on my documentary that I directed in 2008 called Planet B-Boy, which covered the whole resurgence of breakdancing worldwide. And yeah, we Screen Gems came and saw the film, and you know, they saw a lot of potential in this because my goal was to provide more exposure to b-boying, because people remembered it as breakdancing back in the 1980s, which was a huge pop culture fad, but then it died out, and then the breakdancers were gone. And I was curious as to where they went, and so one day I searched them online, and I discovered the Battle of the Year, which is sort of the World Cup of b-boying, if you will. And I was just amazed because the b-boys, they were like the $6 Million Man. They came back like stronger and faster and more agile, and they just blew my mind. And what was crazy is that nobody knew about it. So it was my goal to capture that culture, but more importantly, to also show an alternative side to hip hop, because most people see hip hop as through the eyes of like MTV or the media, which is like very gangster and violent and materialistic. But this culture of hip hop is really amazing and pure and beautiful, in my opinion. I wanted to share that as well. So when Screen Gems decided that they wanted to adopt this into a movie, I was ecstatic because it just helped my mission to provide even more exposure for this culture. And furthermore, I was excited to see a different kind of dance film. And I knew that if we made a movie about b-boying, it would be very different.
I don't really dance in this movie. That didn't take me much time to prepare. No, it was our normal preparation for a role. This is a sports movie and dance movie, so it's a marriage of those two things. So my job was to develop the coach. So I, pulled from my history, and we've all had coaches through the years, and
he sounds like a coach, doesn't he?
yeah, right. But we've had coaches throughout the years, and the ones that really stick in my mind and that really helped me throughout my life were kind of hard asses, and I liked them, but I didn't, and they were hardcore, and so I was drawing on my own experiences there, and just the subject matter is something I've always been really interested in. I did some b-boying or breaking back in the 80s when it was just kind of moonwalking around and doing some the worm and like that, but it's kind of evolved. And when I took the project on, I was like, oh yeah, can't wait, maybe I can even do some dance in this movie. And as soon as they started dancing, I took that dream and put it in my pocket. I was like, okay, I'll be a coach. You guys dance.
I can tell you by these guys next to me. Flips, he's been around for a long time. I'm not trying to age him or anything, but he's been around to see a lot of the change. The change is a lot of these guys have went to the extreme of trying to fly. I think they had that vision back in the day in the 80s that I want to go to the next level. I want to do all this floor work, and let me get faster, let me get this, let me get that. But I think they went from getting faster, stronger, and going harder to let me fly. So they are the hot dogs of the whole movement industry. I call it the movement industry because it's not just dance; it's another level. So that's the difference. The difference is the mentality.
There's a few kids nowadays that are starting at that same age, very, very young, and there's a lot of prodigies out right now. There's a lot of kids that are from 3 to 9 years old that are doing almost everything that 15 to 25-year-olds are doing. So as b-boying advances, I feel like these kids are exposed to YouTube, and they're exposed to films, and they're exposed to more stuff than we were. So for us, it was a lot of trial and error, and for them, they're exposed to it every day. So stuff we never got a chance to see, they just click on a button and it's available to them. So they're starting at a really, really young age, which is scary for us. But yeah, there's a lot of prodigies out. There's Jalen, there's Little Demon, there's he's from Chicago, Riley Spenderella. Yeah, and they're pretty much like he was saying. It's all about defying gravity now. So these kids are flying. They're like 5, 6 years old, and you're like, who taught you that?
It's just cool how in the film how like we kind of did touch multiple generations with the dancers, because we have, you know, we all came out of like, we all started breaking in like 99, 2000. Flips and some of the other guys started in 95. So we kind of hit a lot of the generations, because I don't want to drop numbers, but
No, it's cool.
whatever. They're in their mid-30s, you know what I mean? they've done every dance movie. but yeah, we kind of like touched all bases. It's cool. I feel like it gets kind of tricky as far as the terminology with like street dancing, break dancing, like b-boying, etc. I think like the whole street dance movement like encompasses a lot of different dance styles now, you know, like that are considered street dance. B-boying is basically the first and original street dance, and the dance of hip hop. But I think what you're saying as far as street dance is concerned, there's definitely it's blowing up as far as different little dances kids are making up and whatever on the streets.
You know, outside of, you know, the U.S., you know, a lot of people take the name and title it, you know, street dance, and they're sometimes covering the entire urban dance market, you know, and they just title it, okay, this is street dance. You know, they're not just talking about b-boying or, you know, anything like that. So, you know, individualizing anything. So the difference is exactly what Kid David said is, you know, you know, you have b-boying, then you have a mesh of everything else, which, you know, is kind of my fault and Clint Culpepper's, because we did, you got served and we put things together, and it just started, you know, a whole different movement.
Street dance is kind of a generic term, and a lot of the dance movies in this genre are about sort of, you know, they're a little bit contrived because, you know, there's always been this formula of like street dancer meets ballerina, and, you know, they fall in love, and she teaches him, she civilizes him, and he teaches her flavor, you know, that sort of thing.
And then they do a move like this.
Yeah, and then, you know, and so for us, you know, more importantly about this genre of street dance films, that's where we're very different because, sorry.
What?
Turn off my phone. But that might be Clint calling right now, actually. But I think that's really what makes our film different. And Josh had mentioned earlier that, you know, he plays a coach, and rarely do you see a coach in one of these type of films. And on top of that, rarely do you see this hybrid of sports and dance. And it's the first time I've ever seen anything like it. And I'm really proud to say it worked. It worked really well. And it's nice to see the genre go in a different direction, because there's a lot of movies made in this genre. And I believe we need more diversity in dance films, because we have so many great dancers out there. So yeah, I think street dance is almost in and of itself a genre in dance films. And you know, like I think Step Up as well as Street Dance, that film, they're similar in that respect. But this is about b-boying, which is a real dance form. And we actually shot at the Battle of the Year. Battle of the Year, as I mentioned, is the sort of the World Cup of b-boying. There's over 20 countries that participate, and we actually filmed at the event. So the crowds that you see, some of the teams that you see in the trailer, they're the real deal. And so it was really cool to actually, you know, work with a real dance culture in film and capture an actual real event with real people from around the world, real b-boys. And on top of that, we have real b-boys acting in this film, which is great. 99% of our actors, the dancers, are real b-boys who did a really phenomenal job as actors as well. So, right, Josh?
They did. I was nervous. Like, you know, you guys settle down. I need to see some bad acting around here so I can be validated for why I'm here. So, no, they were phenomenal. And just across the board, that's what really struck me about these guys in this generation. I mean, back when I was their age, I was, you know, in basketball and a couple of things, but they do everything from dance to surfing, skateboarding, art, graffiti art, and classic art. Everything. They do everything. And I'm just like, my gosh, what was I doing back then? So it was really inspirational for me to be around these guys and to watch what they do and to be a part of it. So I really enjoyed that. And yeah.
It's a lifestyle, you know.
It is.
It's an entire culture, and you know, just to harp on what Vincent was saying, this is a b-boying is the Olympic version of dance, period. You know, and when I say Olympic, it's because everybody can't do it. You know, you just can't get up off your couch and then do a head spin, especially like flips. So I mean, you know, it's one of those things you have to train. You have to, you know, become a part of it and become a part of that lifestyle in order to even compete. And competing is still not getting you into the games. You know what I mean? So I think this film is something that encompasses the whole culture, the whole lifestyle, but it also puts it in a different level, on a different level as far as you know, the sport of it.
I just want to add something real quick that I thought was cool to mention is the fact that b-boying is deep and there are different parts of b-boying, you know. I think that the general crowds get accustomed to power moves, which are spins and, you know, like the flashy stuff. And I think Benson and along with the dancers, we made a real effort to try to let the other elements of b-boying shine in the film in ways that it's never it never has on film before. So that was also really cool.
Everybody had, you know, had a voice in, you know, what we're gonna dance to. You know, of course they gotta be able to go off, you know, they gotta feel it. So all of them had a playlist. We had a lot of flash drives that was submitted. So it was a whole lot of music submitted. And Vincent has more music than I've ever seen. Actually, you gotta download some of that on my, yeah. But it's you know, everybody had a, you know, had a input on the music.
What the great thing about b-boying is that style is the key, you know, like everybody, like David said, is that, you know, there's a lot of flashy flipping and spins and turns, but what makes you a b-boy is your style, and it changes you from everybody else, you know? You become someone else, you know? It's like, so in like China, Japan, there's all different styles, just the way they came up, you know? Like if you came up from New York, you have that, you know, New York style. You came from the Bronx in New York, you have that Bronx style. You came from Los Angeles, you have that, you know, West Coast style. So that's the beauty of b-boying, is that it's unique and you can't mess up, you know? There's no rules. You can't, you know, like you do you express yourself, and that's the beauty of it. European style, you know, those dudes are amazing. They're really clean, correct, a lot of technique. As for us, we've been dancing all over the world, battling these guys, and we know a lot of them, they're great dudes. But all I can say is that they're good people, and their style is definitely unique, and they're great. You know, they got a lot of foundation, and not just power. You know, like a lot of Asian dudes, they have the power, the flying, and then Europeans, they take that, but then they also bring in that other element of footwork and all that.
It's been always really fascinating for me to see how these dancers convey their culture through their dance. So for example, like, you know, we had a Russian team, we had a Korean team, we had the French team battling our boys. And American b-boys worldwide are known to be pretty, very stylish and very like into the origins of the dance, but they're also really cocky. And what was interesting is like the French are like that too. But like the French, like you see so much of their beauty, like their value of culture and the beauty of their value of the beauty of the dance come out, but they're really cocky too. So when you get the French and the American b-boys together, it's a serious battle, and they take it very personally. So, you know, like the French b-boys in our film, they were really angry because they had to lose, you know?
We just don't like
And
them.
they actually got into a real fight during the battle, you know, when we filmed it. So it was amazing to see how that comes out. And, you know, that's the great thing about this film is you show all these different nations and how they bring their own culture to their dance in the form of like their presentation at the Battle of the Year. And I think that's just so beautiful to get all those cultures together and capture that in one film.
I really noticed that I was able to go at the actual competition and go out into the crowd and watch some of the different countries. And it's a two-part thing. The first part of Battle of the Year is each country has their own presentation, like a choreographed presentation. They don't battle anyone. They're presenting a choreographed show. And that is where you really see what their culture is, and they bring, like the Brazilians had a lot of air, a lot of capoeira type movement. Then you go, the French, they started inside a big frame, like they were inside a picture, like art, and then they broke out of that and started to dance. And the Greek were all shirtless. And they had like one shirt that was a flag, and they would jump in and out of it. It was crazy, but it was just very unique to their culture, each one. You really see that in their choreographed presentation, and then of course in the battle as well you see, but it's different. You just get such a flavor of their culture in the presentation, so that was fascinating. It's easy to get typecast, especially when you've been on a show that extends over years. Like, you know, I was on Lost for 6 years, so people see you really like that. So, and that's what they want to see. Even in public, I meet someone, they want to see Sawyer, they don't want to see Josh. You know, so that is taking some time to distance a bit from, or to not distance, but to add to, you know, something else, to add to people's perception. I don't want to take away from that character, because it was an iconic kind of character, you know. So that's great, but I love to do different things, and this allowed me that opportunity to do something that was close to my heart and very different from Sawyer.
For me, in the script, I had booked a specific character, but Clint and Benson were really, really cool in the fact of letting us use our real names if we wanted to, and letting us make the lines and the characters within the lines our own. So in the movie, everyone that knows me up here, you get 100% of flips in the movie, and I play flips regardless of the lines that they gave me, and I made them my own, and they weren't too far from reality, so it wasn't really that difficult for me to just be myself, silly and energetic and goofy. But when it came time to the dancing, you do see me kind of put my game face on and kind of go for it. But yeah, I kind of just made the character my own, or myself, so.
It's the same thing for me. My name in the movie is Rebel, and on the sidelines, I'd be even smoking the b-boys on the side, just because they were in the movie. They figured that they were on a level, so they had to bring them down a little bit. But that was another thing. Like Flip said, like the whole script. Like if there was something that we didn't feel was right, or something we wouldn't say, they would right away let us fix that. So that was an amazing thing, for us.
I just want to add that in the film, Josh is the main character because he's the coach, and the boys are the main characters as well because they're the team. And they're both in front of the camera all the time. And I can just say that the Lost fans are going to be really happy because Josh's performance was phenomenal. And he had, his character has a lot of depth. And I'm really proud of his performance and the B-Boys' performance. So just to address your question, there are a lot of fans who know Josh as Sawyer, but the coach was a very different character. And his performance was phenomenal.
my character was in the movie is based off my real story. So, am I allowed to say that? Yeah. Okay. It's my first time. Oh, too close to the mic. All right. No, but so yeah, we did interviews. Our auditions were basically interviews where we danced, and Benson interviewed us, and they actually took little parts of our real story. So my story in the movie is my real life story, and yeah. Also, as far as the dancing is concerned, it's important to know that as b-boys, like we've all been breaking like 10 plus years, 13, 17, I don't know. It's 40. Just kidding. But like over the years, we create signature moves. And when I say signature moves, it's moves that we're known for in the dance community. So we're constantly creating this arsenal of moves. And in a lot of these movies, we're doing our signature stuff, which is, it's years of creativity that we've been working on. So all the stuff in the movie is original movement that we work hard to make up. So.
Yeah, these b-boys are like celebrities. Like seriously, in the b-boy world,
Ghetto
they're rock
celebrities.
stars. Absolutely, no.
Ghetto
They are
famous.
known worldwide. Like you could drop them off anywhere in the world, and their b-boys will come out and pick them up at the airport. Like they get so much respect. In our world, we call that ghetto celebrity.
Can I say ghetto?
That's what makes this film so much more real, so much more, we call it raw. Raw meaning like it's at its purest form. So I don't think a lot of people really know that, and I want them to know. I want you guys to expose to the world how involved everybody was, you know? And we're not just dancers that are body doubles to some famous name, you know? We're literally the real deal, so.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in thanking Benson, Josh, David, and the dancers for being with us here today. Thank you.